Hey, coaches, we got a fantastic guest tonight. Garrett Wingate is the offensive coordinator at Northern Nash in North Carolina, and they played for the state championship this year. And this one is going to make you a little mad, but last year he was the JV offensive coordinator at JH Rose, and they played for the state championship. So he's gone back-to-back state championships. Garrett is a Lincoln Riley disciple. They met when they were both at ECU, and tonight Garrett is going to share a variant of the counter that really became their number one run play this year. On their, had a tremendous offense, and obviously very successful. Got them to the state championship game. So, buddy, I sure do appreciate you doing this. We were at a clinic and we were drawing it up on napkins, and I loved everything that you were selling. I was buying everything you were selling, and I asked you to come on and share it, and you were gracious enough to accept. So I appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Thanks for the invite. I didn't tell you this, but I watch the channel all the time. So the chance to come up here is awesome. And thank you very much. I mean, I'll tell you in the middle of the year, you're facing a defense. I'm like, man, I don't know what to do. I don't know really what to do here. I'll go to your channel, get a little tidbit, and I'm like, yep, I'm using that one right there. So I'm really glad to be paying it back forward and hopefully share something that worked for us. Hopefully it can work for somebody else. All right, so I'm gonna do is go ahead and share the screen here and go through all. I'm gonna skip a lot of stuff and just talk about the main stuff that we were talking about. So go here. All right, so I'm gonna skip through a lot of stuff. If you need anything, there it is. Look, reach out to me, call me. I'll be happy to help anybody who needs anything. So I'm gonna go through real quick just so it makes sense. So the base of my offense is the air raid. And then we're a no huddle, multiple tempo team. We like balance, so we're 50-50. I know that probably goes against traditional air raid a lot, but we like more balance than we like run pass ratio to be close to 50-50 as possible. But we do believe in multiple formations, same personnel, and we do believe in being creative. So this year we ran 63 different formations when you chart it all out. So our whole goal is to find mismatches, always have answers. We are an if-then offense, and that's a term I like to use. If the defense does this, then we're going to do that, and that plays directly into counter and what we do. So we always have an if-then scenario in every play that we have. Our keys are find space, find grass, and find leverage. And we believe in something called the adjuster, and I'll talk about that more in just a second, especially when it comes to counter. So the whole thing, be simple and make the defense wrong. That's what we're looking for. That's what we strive for. So this is our base formation, ace 2x2. Everybody in air raid knows it. And then we adjust everything based off of this. So I was talking about the adjuster, and I'll get there in just a second. But as far as I was talking about balance, I mean, 52% run, 48% pass. That's where we want to be. And, we threw for over 3,000 yards, rushed for 2,500, had 42 touchdowns through the air. So we really believed in trying to keep it as close as possible, but we're obviously going to take what's there. So let me go through our run bank really quick. So when it comes to our run game and our counter, what we do is we're going to pick the best type of run plays that are going to work for us that week against that defense. Typically, we'll carry 4 runs into a game. And what we do is we sit down on Sunday, we watch film, and then we decide which runs work the best against that defense. So we have 4 or 5 different variations of counter that we can run. But the one that we just kept on coming back to is called crab counter for us, and we just kept on running it and running it until we perfected it. And so we kept on coming back to that over and over again. But these are all the runs that we'll choose from on Sunday going into the game. All right. So as you can tell, our run game, counter is our number one play. We average 7 yards per play, 11 touchdowns. So for us, it was huge. That's the basis of our offense is counter, and everything else comes off of that. All right, that's our pass game. We'll skip that. So just skipping through, I talked about the adjuster. Okay, so the adjuster for us, our Y is our adjuster, and we will move him all over the field. So what you're looking at now is I charted everywhere that the Y was in every game all year. So the Y for us is our big tight end, our 6'4", 230-pound guy, and we will move him everywhere. So as we move him everywhere, we believe in making the defense adjust to our offense. We necessarily don't want to adjust to the defense. We want them to adjust to us. So we will move that Y all over the place. And if you look at the red mark, that's where his normal position is. That's where he always starts. And then from there, based on formation, tag, play, he will move all over the place because we think he is pretty much he's going to create a mismatch. So if he's out in the flex, he's 6'5", he's 230. Who's got to guard him? If you bring him into the box, he can pull. He can do a little bit of everything. So we were very blessed to have a very good tight end who could play that position. We'll also move our tailback around all over the place. So these are all the places I put the tailback this year. So he'll move everywhere. And so we have different people who can run counter from different spots. We'll run counter from behind the quarterback. We'll run counter from wing. We'll run counter from anybody, any spot. So absolutely, it's our number one play. So this is our base draw up right here of counter. So if we're facing a even defense, this is the main way we want to block it. And it's a little bit different than most people. Just going through it, our right tackle, the reason why we don't go down, and pull and kick him out and then loop inside, we just are not very good at it. Our offensive linemen are just not those type of linemen. We don't have the big road graders who can just knock somebody out and get them out of the way. We have smaller, faster, agile linemen, so we wanted to use that to our advantage. So what we're doing here, we pass the ball 50% of the time. So our right tackle he has a toolbox, and he can pick 3 different things he wants to do when it comes to blocking that defensive end. He can pass at him, he can try to reach him, or he can do anything else that he thinks is going to keep that defensive end out of the play. So if he pass at him, he's rushing upfield, which is perfect for us. That gets him out of the way. If he wants to act like it's outside zone and try to hook him, well, that defensive end, if we're facing a team that's taught this way, is maintain leverage, keep your outside shoulder free. Well, now he's going to be scraping to the sideline. He creates a bigger gap for us. So it's all depending upon how they're coached. If that defensive end's in a tight 5, well, pin him down if you can. It's just a man-on-man block to keep him out of the play. Same thing with our right guard here. He's man-on with that tackle. I don't care what gap he goes through. I don't care where he goes. He's your person. Use whatever he wants to do against him. So if he wants to shoot the A gap, pin him into the A. If he wants to shoot to the B, block him out to the B. And my right guard is going to realize when we're skip pull team. So everything we do is a skip pull, whether it's counter, power, buck sweep. We're going to skip pull and leave our shoulders square so the linebackers can't truly read where we're going. They don't know what gap we're going to hit. So the way we teach our right guard and our right tackle, our right guard is the one who sets the play. He's looking for daylight. When you see daylight, you cut up. And then whoever else is the second puller, whether it be the Y or the left tackle, is going to follow the right guard. Same thing going the other way. The left guard is taught to look for daylight. When he finds daylight, he shoots up, and everybody else follows him. Another thing that we do, I don't teach a counter step to our running back. Our running back is lined up on the tackle, and he is deceiving the defense as to whether is he going out on a pass, is he in pass protection, or is he running stretch. We just believe in putting him on the tackle because it gives us more space for the mesh point, and it gives more time for the pullers to get in the way. I also don't like teaching a counter step to my tailback because it takes his eyes off of the person that he would be reading. So when you do that, I think sometimes it mumbles it all up, and the backs are just better if they see where they're going and they know where they're going. So we do a 1 crossover step, hit the hole, go where you need to go. And then just like any other counter, we have our RPOs, we have our play actions, everything else off of it. Okay, so that's the basis of counter there. Now, go in the huddle real quick and pull that up. All right, so let's got some film for you. So this is the most basic way we run it, and this is how we want to run it. So we have
we're frozen. We're frozen on your. I don't see your video yet.
All right, hold on. It says I'm paused. Why am I paused? Stop real quick, reset it.
Yep.
You got it?
Yep, good.
All right, so I'll restart here. All right, so on huddle, this right here is our basic run, our counter. This is how we want to run it from 2x2, the most basic way we can run it. We got a 4-man box here. So we are going to run this one, and as I go through it, we're going to run it to the left. So if we go back to our left tackle, okay, he has a man on block. Whatever you need to use from your tool bag to take care of that guy, you use in your tool bag. You can pass set him, you can turn him out. I don't care. Okay, so he's going to take him, and he's just going to take him out wide. He's using his leverage against him. So now, if we go back to our left guard, his job is you've got this defensive tackle, man on. I don't care what you use in your tool bag, but get him out of the way. So he's going to push him down and create the gap that way. So honestly, have we done anything hard to create a hole? And the answer is no. We just used the defensive leverage against them. Whatever they wanted to do, you created the hole for us. We just got in the way. So, like I was telling before, our right guard is looking for the first space that he sees. If the first space is the A gap, he's going to shoot up the A gap. If it's the B gap, he'll go to the B gap. If the first space is the C gap, he'll go to the C gap. And so his job is to know where the grass is, find the grass, lead everybody up. And the tackle is going to follow him in that hole. All right. So if we go, where's our grass? Right there in the B gap. Okay, take off, find the hole. Hit the first thing you see. And our other guy pulling knows that there's another linebacker there. We're going to take care of that person. And there's your hole right up the middle. Hit the gap, split the hole. Okay. So like I said, with our tailbacks, we don't teach a counter step. We're going to shuffle, hit the hole, find it, and hit it and go. All right. So that is the most perfect way that we want to run that play. That one right there. Okay. All right. Let's go to a next one. So again, same thing. We're 2 by 2. Same idea. This time we're going to run it to the left. Now, one thing that I don't like is my right tackle turned his shoulders. I hate that. We're trying to get him out of that. But everybody else, skip pull, you find first daylight. And on this one, our first daylight was now in the A gap. So what we're doing here, our tackle, left guard, they don't have to do anything hard. It's just get those guys out of your way. Use their leverage in your favor. So when we do that, there's their leverage. Okay, we know what they're doing. Center blocks back just like he always does. We're pulling inside that gap. We're finding linebackers, wrap them up, hit them, running back, and we will go from the pistol. So we'll mix it all up. We will move him all over around like I was talking about the adjuster part. So what we're doing here is we do run buck sweep. So those linebackers, if we catch them reading flow like they did here, our running backs opening up to the right, they saw flow, and as soon as they saw flow, they took off to their left. Now, what we're doing is we're bending counter right back around, catch them out of position, makes it easier block for our guard and our tackle. All right, so that's even fronts. And I got one more for even front for you. All right, same thing. We are out of trips this time, but all we're doing is trying to move people out of the way and find grass, find mismatches. Same exact concept. Right guard, find space, wherever the way, use your leverage, hit the hole hard. All right, so now the question is,
Run that one back, Coach.
okay, against the
a little bit on that one. Can you try to hit your slow button on it? That last play we froze.
Which one? Okay, this one right here.
That one right there.
Okay. All right, gotcha. All right, so this one right here is just another even front. Just showing you, we're going to go to the left. Just showing you where the hole opens up. That's what our right guard is looking for. So where that space opens, hit the space, hit the first thing you see. The other puller knows I have the other linebacker. And then that running back is just reading whatever the blockers do and reacting off the block. All right. Now, let's go to an odd front. Now, all we do on an odd front, and this is like kind of this team changed up on us middle of the game, but they pretty much ran an odd front the whole night. And once we agree something's working, we just stick with it. So what we do on an odd front, we're going to pull the center and the tackle, more than likely, or the center and the Y, or whoever else we have back there. And we pretty much leave our guards behind to down block. So that's our one simple adjustment that we make if we go to an odd front. And I know it looks even, but it's odd. What we're doing is we just pull the center now. And now, if we go back to our tackle, like I said, use whatever tools in your tool bag to take care of this person in front of you. So he's tight. So if he's tight, what's the easiest block you can do? Block him down. Keep him inside. And so that's what he does. He blocks them down. He keeps them inside. He's going to down block. Now, the center is now the reactor, and he knows I got to find the first green grass that I see. Okay, so I'm running. No green grass, no green grass. There it is. All right, so now my two guys know I'm looping up for the two linebackers. All right, and so the running back is just reacting off of the block and the leverage of the block. And so that's our biggest difference when it comes to an odd front. And I got one more for you. So this is a team, they're our biggest rival. And they watched all our film. They played us week 8 and then the second round of the playoffs. So they got to see us twice. Now, what they did is they started squeezing us down really, really tight. We had tight 5s and they're in 2s, okay, on the defensive line. So this team knew if we started squeezing and messing up with that defensive end a little bit, start squeezing and playing games, it messed with our tackles a little bit. So the tighter they played, they did a really good job at trying to spill everything outside. What we were able to do is, if you just fall back on their rules that we follow, so we're going to run this one to our right. And what we're doing is, we were having trouble at the beginning finding daylight. So we couldn't find the daylight. Our left guard was really struggling at finding daylight. Now, when he pulls this time, what we're doing is realizing that daylight is now, thank goodness for huddle sideline, daylight is right inside the A gap. So if you find daylight, first thing you see is daylight. He sees daylight inside the A gap. He turns it inside. And the person following this time is our Y. So now he's going to follow that left guard right through the hole. And what we're doing is the same exact concept. That running back, this is why I don't like counter stepping. I want him to see exactly where he's going, reading what's going on. And we mix it up. We put them all over the place. So we have them on this side, but we're running counter back over it. So it's same side counter for us. So we're messing everything up for the defensive linebackers. And so we follow the same rules, same blocking pattern. Nothing really changes. And that's counter for us. And yes, we have RPOs and everything off of it. Just like everything, we'll run counter and throw the screen back to the right. Set up the quick screen. So that way, if they're guessing too hard, we'll hit them with the screen right back at it if they're trying to play soft. And I think I got one more quick RPO that we run. Yeah. So this is 4th round of the playoffs. What happens if we start to run the ball very effectively, we'll keep on running the ball. And this free safety started to get involved in the run game. He was involved in the run game a lot. So as soon as he saw somebody pull, he took off. So there's our pull. And we called this play on the sideline. It's like, hey, I want you to fake counter, and then I want you to just throw it deep. And that free safety, he pulled up really, really hard. He's in the run game. And we just threw it deep. He caught the ball, made a good catch. So it gave us that one-on-one matchup that we wanted. So so that's our base run play, and that's little RPOs we'll run off of it. Nothing changes. Nothing looks different. Just small, simple things that we do that works for us.
I love it, man. I love it. I got a handful of questions for you.
What's up?
All right. First one on the skip pull. You know, we're more traditional. When you're pulling your center, you don't really skip pull him, do you? I mean, he looked like he had turned shoulders.
Yeah, and that was the second game of the year.
Okay, so he was. So you were fixing.
We got better. We got better, but that was our second game of the year.
Even the center, you want to skip pull that guy
as much as we can. We don't want to turn our shoulders.
All right. So, what would you recommend for us? This is going to be a counter punch. Mm-hmm. Would you recommend? Like, we don't skip pull on a traditional counter.
Right.
Would you recommend just skip pulling on this variation or try to skip pull everything?
I think it's this variation. Okay. If you're trying to down block everybody, if everybody's going down and you're working on kicking out, you got to stick with your kicking out. You got, but for us, it's hard to teach what shoulder to hit that defensive end with if you're a flat puller, and then where the other guy goes. And what's happening now is defensive ends are really, really good. They're knowing how to lock stuff. They're knowing how to spill it. They know how to wrong arm very well, because typically defensive ends are the best players on that defense. So we want them to be in constant struggle. So for us, the best thing is if they see somebody go down, they know, oh, I better spill it, or somebody's coming, let's wrong on. But if you see somebody pass it, they're taught, oh, it must be a pass. So now we've messed him up and he doesn't know what's about to happen.
Right. So the better coached up they are, the more the pass set hurts them in the yeah.
Absolutely, because they're taught to look for keys.
All right. Do you think the shuffle instead of the counter step with the running back, that looked like it really helped you on same side counter?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Is it a big advantage for you on same
I
side?
I think it is because the running back never loses his focal point. I'm a big person about knowing what you're seeing and where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
So counter step, I don't know why, but it running backs I have coached through the years, they'll take that big old step, and then a linebacker knows exactly where to go. But for us, you don't know if it's inside zone, outside zone, counter.
Right.
Uh, so just for us, it's just easier.
Okay. And then so I really liked it when I saw you run same side. I really like that's something we need to look at that because
Yeah.
it's hard to go counter step and
Mm-hmm.
then run same side.
Right.
Okay, talk to us about pistol. You in your mind they're just interchangeable spots.
Right. It's just an
What's
interchangeable
the
spot.
main coaching difference for you when you're putting them back there? Do you just keep it that simple? Do you just tell them it's the same?
Yeah, it's the absolute same. It's really comes down to, hey guys, we're going to start beside the quarterback. First quarter, second quarter, we'll go behind the quarterback. Third quarter, we'll go same side counter, and we just mix it up. And
Okay.
it's that simple for us. So
Okay.
they know what their steps. If they're beside the quarterback, shuffle, shuffle, go. If they're same side counter, shuffle to the quarterback, cut it back. If they're pistol, let's bend it around and follow your pullers.
All right. And it's you're keeping it that simple. Just bend it around
Mhm.
and follow.
That simple.
Okay. All right. I love it, man. Love it.
Yeah.
I knew you were on to something when we were talking at the clinic, and it really looks great. Once you number one, you do a great job at teaching it, and then showing it on tape, it really looked like $1,000,000.
Well, thank you. I appreciate. Yeah, we it was one of those things that I knew existed. And, as a coach, sometimes you're hard headed. It's a very weird situation. I got um, the job at Northern Nash. I was literally called 2 weeks before the season started, and Northern was good. I mean, they went to the third round last year, and they called me like, "Hey, we need an offensive coordinator. Our person just left, and we don't have anybody." 2 weeks before the practice started, so it was like July 14th. I was like, "I'm good. I'm at Rose. We just went to the state championship. I'm in a good spot. I'm fine." And they're like, "No, if you come over here, we got a really good chance. We think we got a really good chance at what you do." So I was like, "Well, all right, well, let's go over there." So um, we installed everything day one. That was my first day of practice, was August 1st. So we went in, installed the offense. Um, I was hard headed for about a week, and then I realized what we were really good at. And I think that's the key point about being a good coach, is adapting to what you got. And what we got are some really good pass blockers. So we were like, how can we fix this? What can I pull from the past that I know Lincoln's done, and I've seen them do at Oklahoma? And so we just kind of pulled it out, really practiced it, repped it, and it really worked good for us.
Awesome, man. Well, you did a great job. I sure appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it being on.